Bismillah, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, salatu wassalam, ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Welcome to Quran Wiki. So we have some new features that we've just introduced, and also I would just like to show some a quick overview for the site and how to get the best out of Quran Wiki. So for those familiar with the site, I won't go into too much detail. But for those for the first time, they'll see the site on free. Feel free later to explore yourselves. But the main purpose of this video is just to show how the site works uh, in a consolidated form, and really how people, no matter what their purpose is, whether it's studying for themselves um, or using it as a tool for teaching others, how they can get the best out of it. So if we take a surah, for example, Surah Al-Baqarah, um, we have each surah has an overview page, and we have all the ayat also, which have their pages themselves. So many of you will be familiar with this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But some of the new features which have been introduced are quite good and quite pertinent for any um, person who's trying to study the Quran in a deeper level. So every surah has an overview in terms of information of ayat and words, total words, unique words, Makki, Madani, chronological order according to Ibn Abbas, an estimated year of revelation, and also what we have here now, which is a good feature for anyone studying the surah or trying to understand the surah. We have a list of events that were taking place during the revelation of the surah, and also the events that were taking place during or before the surah, and events that are still to occur. So you can try to understand the surah in a certain context. Um, then we have the names of the prophets mentioned. So all names which are mentioned of the prophets within a particular surah. And then also, inshallah, in the coming days and weeks, there'll be also a section for any of the names of Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in this surah. Then you also have here a surah index. So this is an index of themes which a surah has, and you can scroll down and get a very quick overview of the type of themes being discussed in this surah. Um, then we have the other sections, which are some old sections which still are there, the connections, the themes, the connection between the beginning and the end of the surah, and so forth. Now this is a new part of this of the site, which is the manuscript and inscriptions. Here, anytime a surah has been inscribed, albeit on a manuscript, on a masjid wall, on a gravestone, on a body armor, on a sword, etc., we're trying to collate all these images that we have so that a person can pick a surah. For example, here we are on Surah Al-Baqarah, and we can see, for example, in this instance, we can see a gravestone, and you can click, and then the image will enlargen, and some more information about that particular inscription. Um, Here we have a masjid wall, for example, and so forth. So throughout history, here we have what is one of the earliest manuscripts that we have, which is actually called the Uthmani manuscript, which is possibly a manuscript attributed to the Khalif Uthman radiallahu anhu, or it could be a copy of the original copy. It's throughout history. Then also, if you scroll down, you can see other features. The virtues of the surah, etc., etc. Here we have a graph showing the overview, a bird's eye view of the surah. We have a pie chart showing, here in this particular case, 18 unique root words which are only in this surah. And then we go down and we can find here some lesson and themes, etc. So some parts are the older part of the older development. So I don't want to go into too much detail there. Here we have Tafsir zone. So here on this particular surah, on the surah overview level, we can go to any of these tafsirs that we have here, and currently they're in some of the Arabic tafsirs, inshallah, within the next couple of days, and then following that, weeks and months, uh, one will be able to also access the English tafsir. So here we have Ibn Kathir and Mawla Maududi, etc. So Mawla Mufti Shafi and Sayyid Qutb and others, inshallah, as the list may grow, inshallah. So that's the surah. Here we can also go, if we just scroll back up, we can pick any ayah, and also the ayah level will load. Now here we have the ayah displayed across. If we go down, we see the ayah also displayed, and we can now click any word, and that will actually take us to the Quran dictionary. So I've just randomly picked Dharaba. So Dharaba here tells us that it occurs 28 times in 28 surahs, with the occurrence of 58 times. Here we have a graphical representation. Then we have a list of all the occurrences in the Quran, which also have the word and the usage of the word Dharaba. So I can actually now pick another ayah of another occurrence, and this will actually take me to that ayah of the Quran. But let me go back. Inshallah, at the moment we have all the occurrences in the Quran, and then we are working also to introduce this word, if it has ever been used in a hadith. In the 6 books of hadith, we shall inshallah also be incorporating that, so a person can see at the dictionary level anytime that word has been used in the Quran, and in those instances, and anytime that word may have been used in a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To the right we have dictionaries. Now here, the word Dharaba, what's nice about this feature is that the word that the dictionary image, it goes straight to that dictionary image of the word Dharaba, and we have about 30 or so dictionaries here all ready for you to use at the right page. So you can see Dharaba here in the Hanzway dictionary. You can scroll down and you'll find it. Dharaba, you are already there within all these dictionaries, and you have 30 or so Arabic, English, and Urdu dictionaries to the right. Now, as we're already here, I'll just show you that. I mean, you can all the words are there, so I can pick another letter. I can select the roots for the letter, and so forth, and the same thing will happen. The occurrences in the Quran, a visual representation, and to the right you'll see an Arabic dictionary. So let me just go back to where we were at the ayah level. So here we are on ayah 60. So just to go below, you'll see some of the graphs. Here you'll see that the frequency of the root words in the ayah used in this surah and in the Quran overall. And at this level, at the ayah level now, as we were at this ayah, ayah 60, where this is Musa. So if we go down or scroll down, we can see that we are already at the ayah for this tafsir, and then you can select another tafsir. And then we'll also go to that exact point that you'd want for that tafsir already ready for you. Now, let me here at this point say, if you were to also select Mus'haf view on this page, it will take you directly to that part of the Mus'haf. So now you can see we're on that page of the Mus'haf, which is which I was on that ayah level. Now here, for example, now I'm at the Mus'haf level. I can actually pick something else. I'll go to the surah, Surah Al-A'raf, and I can look at whichever ayah I'm trying to seek or find, because some users would be more familiar with where the ayah appears in the Mus'haf. If I know this is ayah number 9, I can click ayah number 9 on the Arabic or the English, and I'll go back straight to that ayah number 9 of the surah, and I'm at that level again, where I can see information regarding that. And as we've shown before, you can click a word here, and that will take you to the Arabic, or that will take you to the Quran dictionary. I can see tafsir for that ayah. Before I show you the actual other feature, which is a really, I think a good tool to use, I'll just show the tafsir zone. So if you're just particularly interested in just tafsir itself, here we are now, just in the tafsir zone. I can find an ayah that I would like to use, I would like to read up about, and then I can find the ayah will display. I can pick another tafsir, and then the tafsir would load for that, and some tafsirs are waiting to be loaded, but the majority are there to view in this instance, so that you can just find the ayah that you'd want to look at and just see that for that particular case. Now, if you would like to see everything in a consolidated form, and I believe this would be quite a beneficial tool for those using, if you select display all. Now, display all is a feature where it consolidates the data into one place. So now I have the ayah to my right, and I have this section to the left. Now, if I were to pick, for example, ayah number 5, I'll click view. Ayah 5 loads. I can see the overview for this surah in a short form, and then I can click the ayah analysis for this surah. I can click the Quran dictionary for this ayah. So the same ayah, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى. And here again, I can click, and I will go to the Quran Arabic dictionary. And also, I'll click the tafsir zone, and it'll also load the tafsir, and I can then pick another mufassir, for example, and it will also load the tafsir for this ayah. So this is like a tool which you can stay in one place, and it will all you'll be able to use it in one from within one screen. So just some final points. If you also, if you were to we have a specific dashboard for a surah. So if we were to click dashboard, so now I want to analyze Surah Ibrahim, and once Surah Ibrahim loads, so these are for all the surah of the Quran. Also, I can look at it from a graphical representation of the data. So I can see that there's 52 ayat, the total words, the root words, Makki Madani, how many unique root words are only in this surah. I can see a bird's eye view. Now here, I have this, I can see that there's 234 root words used in Surah Ibrahim. If I want to just see, okay, now if I just click Ibrahim here, now I've got all the root words in front of me here. I can select any one of them, and then I can see that once I select for Ibrahim, I can see that, okay, Ibrahim is mentioned 15 times in Surah number 2. I can see in other surah of the Quran the occurrences. I can select, for example, Kharaja, and then I can see, okay, this in the Quran. If I scroll down further, I can see the top 10 most frequently used words in this surah. I can also see the unique words. There are 3 unique words. Actually, there's a slight. This actually should be displaying 4. This is an error that was occurring, which we have highlighted, which we're going to be correcting. So you can see here there's 4. The graph should be showing 4. So inshallah that should be fixed, inshallah. And then you can see also here that the overview of the surah itself, just like you could see it at the surah overview, the normal surah overview. Now, one final new section which is in for every surah, but you can just see it in one screen, is the manuscripts and inscriptions. So this screen, you'll be able to see all of the latest ones added. This is for the whole site, all the surahs. So you can, all the surah, you can see that there's which images have been loaded for this section. Um, and inshallah, this is will be continuously added to bi'idhnillah ta'ala. So I think I've covered most things, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us for our sins and our shortcomings, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this from us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.